Very strong to the hoop, making a lot of easy layups. We saw her kind of taper off of that from the beginning of the season, and she's really found her stroke as of late. She's getting back into averaging 8 or 9 points a game and really helping this team where she was only averaging 3 or 4.
McGrath wins the tip for the Bearcats. Fenton controls now. First possession of the game, Fenton turns it over. Number 23, Becky Rowe, comes away with the steal. She's going to run the offense for the Cougars. Down in the corner now for Sargent. She's guarded closely by Manzer. Back up top for Rowe. The feed inside for Zelenik. Kicks in the corner for number 15, Speeney. Shots off the rim, no good. Sedlock with the early rebound. That's one for her already.
Sedlock averaging 10 rebounds a game, and we can see why. She's a very big presence in the post.
Elle Collins. Talked about her just a few minutes ago as well. The big three here early on. St. Vincent has the early 3-0 lead about 50 seconds in.
I believe that would put Elle at the 35. 35 made three-pointers on the year. As impressive as that is, only half of the record, which I believe is 69, set a couple years back.
And Elle, of course, it's always nice to get scoring from your point guard. You know, you look for them to really run the offense, but when she's able to score like that, it adds another dimension. Now Manzer holds it on the right wing. She fakes from three, back up top to Collins. She fakes, drives the lane, little floater. Shot doesn't go. Sedlock hustles for the rebound. Kicks back up top to Fenton. Fenton for three. Shot off the rim, no good. Number 23, Rowe, comes down with the rebound. Rowe brings it into the half court now. Sargent holds on the left wing, guarded closely by Manzer. Feed inside for Zelenik is tipped away. Sargent regains control of it. Her shot's off the mark. McGrath and Zelenik collide going for the ball. It's tipped out of bounds. Last touched by the Cougars. Ball for the Bearcats. St.
Vincent playing very good D, contesting every shot that Chatham has. Not really a good shot taken yet by Chatham, just because the effectiveness and quickness of the Bearcat defenders.
Sedlock now feeds from McGrath, cutting through the lane. Little off-balance shot. Up off the glass, gets to go. McGrath extends the St. Vincent lead to 5 here early on. Ahead for King now. She's guarded closely by Sedlock on the wing. Feeds inside for Zelenik. Back up top to Rowe. Her three-pointer. Shake, rattle, doesn't roll. Hit the top of the backboard. Came back down. Sargent got the rebound. Her shot doesn't go. Ball is tipped around. Eventually controlled by Sedlock. Outlets for Manzer now. Manzer holds down along the baseline. Kicks back up. Left foul line extended for McGrath. She's going to pull up for the 10-footer. Shot gets the fall there. Little home court roll. McGrath with 4 points here already for St. Vincent. 7-0 lead for the Bearcats. And Chatham turns it over again, as I believe that was number 15, Speeney. Her lead pass was too far for Sargent. Ball out of bounds. Manzer's going to come out. Looks like she needs a hair tie or something. And Jessica Welch, the freshman, will give her a break.
Yeah, she kind of had a crazy little braid going there. I think it might have got caught up on one of the Chatham players, and the whole thing just ended up coming out.
She'll get that worked out now. Welch just checked in, feeds down low on the block for Sedlock. Sedlock, athletic move, doesn't get the shot to fall. Looks like she got poked in the eye. McGrath tips the ball out of bounds away from King, but Chatham will retain possession.
Mike, let's take a quick look at Devin McGrath here. Now she's obviously considered the center on the team, even though she's listed as a forward. Takes the jump ball, is always in the post. She has 56 steals on the season, which you really don't see that from your center. She just poked the ball way out of there. She made a nice little step-back jumper from the elbow, and that's obviously something you don't see from your center every day. So she's just a very complete all-around player that's extremely impressive, not only in the post, but she can shoot the 12-foot jumper as well.
And when you look at the St. Vincent starters, the least amount of steals any of them has is Collins with 27. Everybody else goes from 27 to 56. Of course, McGrath leading with 56 as Collins pulls up for the jumper right there. 9-0 St. Vincent on a little 9-0 run here over the first 3 minutes. But like we were saying, Gio, and there's Devin flying in. I think just her athletic ability, and I believe Zach Bush and I talked about this when St. Vincent took down Messiah in the second game of the season. Zach brought up a lot how the St. Vincent forwards are able to run the floor, and that can really provide a problem for a lot of teams because of how fast and athletic they really are.
Absolutely, and one of the main things on the fast break, we always hear Jimmy yelling about the trailer. He loves to hit that trailer on the fast break, and good things can happen from it.
And head coach Sandra Rechtenwald doesn't like to start for her team, as she shouldn't. St. Vincent out to the early 11-0 lead. We'll take a timeout. St. Vincent in front. Okay, out of the break, St. Vincent and Chatham both with their starting 5 still on the floor. 16:30 remains here in the first half. St. Vincent leads by 11. The feed now for Zelenik. She drives the lane. McGrath comes soaring in, gets the block and the rebound all in one. Feeds ahead for Fenton now. Fenton looking to get on the score sheet still. 19 away from 3,000. McGrath shot off the front of the rim. Zelenik grabs the rebound for the Cougars. Speeney controls now for Chatham. Drives left side on the left wing to Sargent. She's guarded closely by Collins, crosses over. Comes back across the court, top of the key, looks to feed inside for Zelenik at the foul line. Little give and go. Sargent's shot is blocked by the smaller Collins. A nice job by L, elevating a little bit right there.
It was also a pretty good job by Chatham there running that offensive play. They had the cut, but like we said, just the quickness of the guards and everybody on the court for St. Vincent, it's just hard for any opponent to get anything going.
Number 24, Ashley Fox, checks in for Chatham. Rowe on the wing now. Her shot doesn't hit the rim. Sargent tries to save it from going out of bounds right into the waiting hands of Sedlock. Possession changed before the shot clock violation. Little semi-alley-oop right there. McGrath bobbled up, but regains control of it. McGrath with 8 already of the 13 St. Vincent points.
Yeah, good look there by Brittany to throw a little lob pass. Just a little bit too soft and didn't get there quite as quick enough for we could have saw an extremely athletic play by McGrath.
Speeney's shot doesn't go. The ball's tipped out of bounds by Collins, so the Cougars will retain possession. Number 10, Elizabeth Lewis, checks in for the first time tonight, and Zelenik returns for the Cougars. Lewis inbounds for Zelenik. Now King on the left side, guarded closely by Collins. King, the leading scorer at 10.2 points a game for the Cougars. Lewis with it now on the left side, guarded by Fenton. The feed inside for Zelenik. Chatham really hasn't dropped down low to even post up. They tried using Zelenik at the free throw line to set up a give and go type play almost. And number 15, Speeney, is fouled on her shot. She'll go to the line to shoot 2. I believe the foul was on McGrath, I believe. But just interesting because they have somewhat of a height advantage because Manzer is guarding Zelenik, but inside they just haven't. I'm not sure if it's their offense or what, but they haven't chose to exploit that yet. Yeah, well, they're coming off. Chatham's coming off the ball screens fairly well, and they're getting the switches that they want. They want that mismatch with Manzer and Zelenik, but it's kind of confusing, like you said, because they're not really. After the screens come in, no one's really rolling to the hoop, and I would take the, nothing against Melissa, but just because of the pure size difference, I would take that mismatch pretty much any day, but Melissa's doing a good job of contesting every dribble, every shot that Zelenik takes so far. Speeney knocks down both free throws. Now the score is 13-2 St. Vincent. Sedlock left side, little give and go with McGrath. Sedlock fouled trying to take that one to the hole. The ball doesn't even get to the rim. Number 25, Zelenik, picks up the foul, and Brittany will go to the line to shoot 2. Sedlock, a 79% free throw shooter on the season. .94 of 119, the leading free throw shooter, hits the first. Welch checks in for Collins. Brittany knocks down both on that trip. 15-2 St. Vincent. About 14.5 remains here in the first half.
St. Vincent just really not doing anything wrong on offense right now. They're finding all the crisp passes that they need, skip passes across the court. Anything they need is pretty much just going their way right now.
Zelenik handles now, drives right side, hands off to Lewis. In the corner for King, guarded closely by Fenton. The feed inside for Zelenik is tipped away, but she gains control of it, gives back to King. She's pestered by Fenton. 3 on the shot clock. Speeney puts up a long 3. Shot hits the rim but doesn't go. McGrath grabs another board. Pushes ahead now for Welch. The feed inside for Sedlock. Sedlock back up top to McGrath. The nice find underneath for Manzer. Great ball movement right there by the Bearcats.
Absolutely. That is exactly why I love basketball. It's about plays like that. I mean, McGrath just does a good job on a shot fake. She's taken that shot twice already. Unfortunately, missed both those times. The defender just pulls up, and Manzer just wide open underneath the basket for an easy layup.
St. Vincent, 17-2 lead. Zelenik feeds at the foul line for number 24. That's Ashley Fox. Zelenik's long 3 is off the mark. Welch and Speeney fighting for it in the corner. Goes out of bounds before either of them can reach it, so the ball will go back to St. Vincent. Savannah Hardy checks in for the first time tonight. In for Chatham now is Jersey says number 40, but we don't have a 40 on our program sheet here, so we'll have to talk to Assistant Sports Information Director Sean King, who's down at the scorer's table, to see if he can get us a name. Sedlock shot is off the mark. Ball rebound is pulled in by Chatham.
I'm trying to think about last time we did the game. She really doesn't even look too familiar. Maybe a transfer or late addition to the team.
King with it now. Her three, in and out, doesn't go. Hardy tips it away. Manzer can't control it, though. It rolls out of bounds. Nice play by Hardy to try and find it. She knew she wasn't going to get both hands on it. Tried tipping it to an open Manzer, but just a little too strong.
Yeah, because Chatham is passing the ball so well, you would think, and because they're shooting so poorly, you would think that it would be a bad matchup with St. Vincent in a man-to-man defense, but there's nothing really. I mean, it's, I guess, just because the shots are just falling for Chatham, that St. Vincent can just stick to that man-to-man until Chatham goes on a run of their own.
King with it along the baseline, feeds for Zelenik. Sedlock gets a hand on it, but they say she got her arm in the process as well. Brittany picks up her first foul. Zelenik at the line, shooting a pair. 12:36 on the clock. Shot off the front of the rim, doesn't go. L. Collins returns for Emily Fenton. Back in for Chatham, number 23, Becky Rowe.
Chatham only shooting 60% from the free throw line. Not really a percentage you'd like to see in a game where at the collegiate level with free throws should be fairly easy. But nonetheless, she knocks down one of the two shots, and Collins will start to bring the ball up the court.
We have a timeout on the floor. 17-3, St. Vincent leads. 12:31 remains here in the first half. We'll take a short break. Okay, out the St. Vincent timeout. Manzer inbounds to Collins. She sets the offense up for the Bearcats here in the half court. L holds out, high on the right side. The feed inside for Sedlock is tipped away by Zelenik, but Welch controls the loose ball. Brittany tries to set a screen for L. L pulls up from three, shot off the front of the rim, doesn't go. Zelenik grabs the rebound for the Cougars. Sargent with it now on the left wing. Lewis over to Zelenik now on the right side. And sorry folks, number 40, who is on the floor. We just got a roster update, is number 40, Emily Schmidt. She's a 6'4" freshman from Ringgold High School in 84, Pennsylvania. So we apologize for the delay on that, but Sean King all over it. Zelenik's shot doesn't go. Manzer with the rebound.
Chatham running the shot clock down to under 5 seconds almost every possession they had, and as poorly as they've been shooting the ball, you would think that Coach Rechtenwald would tell them maybe to speed it off and get a couple more shots off, see if they can get something going on the offensive board, second opportunities, but not really seeing their strategy and running the shot clock down so low.
On that trip, St. Vincent missed a couple shots right there. That's the first time we've seen that tonight, as they've pretty much been automatic from the field here in the early goings. 11:05 remains in the first half. Zelenik feeds for Sargent. Sargent up off the glass, gets it to go. Now 17-5, St. Vincent.
And that was a good job by Chatham there of taking advantage of a mismatch. Sargent, who is a couple inches taller than Welsh off the screen. Sargent rolled to the hoop. The Bearcats were forced to switch, and obvious mismatch taken advantage of this time.
Hardy pulls up left foul line extended. Chiefs fouled on the shot. Shot doesn't fall, but she'll go to the line to shoot a pair. Number of changings forthcoming for both teams. McGrath waiting to return, and in for the first time tonight will be number 11, Allie Schmidt. Looks like Speeney, King. And number 21, Kayla Saylor, the freshman from Pittsburgh. I'll check back in for Chatham. Hardy hits the second, 1 for 2 on that trip. 18-5 St. Vincent. Banzer with a nice anticipation play, knocks the ball away, unable to control it though. Speeney controls now for the Cougars. Crosses half court, brings the ball in. The feed for Zelenak. Trying to post up on Hardy, gets the ball to Sargent instead. Back to Zelenak, spins in the lane, left hand shot doesn't go. Collins tries to get a hand on it, tips it right into the waiting hands of Sargent, but Collins, the nice strong play to get it away from Sargent, but she turns it right back over to Speeney. Chatham now with the ball again, trailing by 13, about 10 minutes left here in the first half. Sargent tries feeding inside for Zelenak, but Manzer jumps up and knocks it away. Loose ball on the floor. Schmidt's fighting for it. Outlets to Collins. Collins back ahead for Manzer. Manzer on the right side. Thinks about the long two. Feeds inside for Hardy. Nice unselfish play by Savannah Hardy to feed for Devin McGrath. First shot doesn't go. Second shot doesn't go. Zelenak gets the rebound.
A very good job by Savannah Hardy to find McGrath there for the extra pass. Obviously was going to be a much easier basket for McGrath. Just well contested by Zelenak down low.
Checking in for Hardy for the first time, number 10, Ariel Rocco.
While we have a quick minute, I'd just like to remind everyone listening, if you would please go to our athletics page, that's athletics.stvincent.edu, and click on our link to vote for St. Vincent men's basketball guard Chris Klimchuk for ECAC Video Play of the Week. It would be greatly appreciated from all of us here in the St. Vincent community to see him receive that honor.
Nice lob pass for Schmidt. Yeah, I was working the scores table for that game, and Klimchuk, you see the time winding down. Everybody just kind of put their head down right from about the white volleyball line, just tossed one up and banked it right in. You know, St. Vincent was leading in that game, but it was a little bit back and forth, and it really gave them some big momentum, and they pulled away from Westminster big time in the second half. So, like Gio said, vote for Chris Klimchuk, and let's get another Bearcat in honor. Quite a few have come for St. Vincent here in the fall and winter sports seasons, and I'd like to keep that success rolling here. McGrath feeds inside for Rocco. Rocco, about a 6-foot jumper, buries it. Now 20-5, St. Vincent.
Excellent job by Rocco there. Had Manser wide open, but Rocco, you can really see the confidence gaining in her play, as you know she's not afraid to shoot that jumper from it's like 6 to 10 feet with someone in her face. A lot of confidence over this past summer that Ariel has gained to improve her game.
Fenton checks back in, as does Kelly Sedlock, the younger sister of Brittany Sedlock and the cousin of Ariel Rocco. Kelly, a little different player than her two older family members, more of a smaller guard, a shooter, where Brittany and Ariel aren't afraid to go inside. I'm not saying that Kelly is afraid to go inside, but just different styles of play. Sedlock giving the Bearcats some valuable minutes here in her freshman campaign. She's the feature on tonight's game program, Get to Know Kelly Sedlock. And there she is for the rebound. Just like we said, she'll go inside a little bit. Fenton drives, shoots a shot to fall, and one. Nice job by the senior from Latrobe. Her first 2 points of the night, now 17 away from 1,000. Be nice to see her get it tonight, Gio, because they go on the road to Grove City this weekend. And when Brittany got on the road, of course, it was nice, but there's nothing like doing it in front of your home crowd. So it'd be nice to see Emily pour in some points here in the later goings. Now 16 away. She hits the free throw. Take a 30-second timeout. We'll stay here for this one. And looking at the upcoming schedule, as we mentioned, St. Vincent goes to Grove City this Saturday for a 1 o'clock start. That will be followed by an approximately 3 p.m. start for the men's team. Then they return home next week, February 1st. They host Teal, then travel to Waynesburg for a big contest. Of course, Waynesburg defeated them a couple weeks ago, so St. Vincent, of course, wants to enact some revenge and solidify their place atop the PAC, but a couple tough games in front of them with Grove City and Teal.
And it's going to be a completely different game, I believe, and all bias aside, I obviously want to see the Bearcats win, but it's going to be a completely different game. That was really the turning point of the season. Once they lost that first conference game, they kind of realized, wow, we all need to step up. We all maybe need to look in the mirror and see what's going on. And that's exactly what the Bearcats have done. Every time there's a challenge at their door, they've answered it with extreme success, and hopefully they can just keep it rolling. Not that we were looking past Teal or Grove City by any means, but that's definitely a big game coming up for the Bearcats.
As is mostly every game here in the PAC. Number 24, Ashley Fox, tries keeping that one from going out of bounds, but she stepped on the line. So the possession will go back to St. Vincent, who currently holds a 23-5 lead. About 7 3/4 minutes remains here in the first half.
And with 7:45 in the first half, it's an extremely impressive stat. 7 different Bearcats have scored. They usually bring about 10 people off the bench per game, depending on situations. 7 already with 7.5 minutes left to play in the first half is extraordinary.
And another 3 from Emily Fenton gets her to 6 points for the evening, only 13 away. 26-5, St. Vincent leads. Sargent controls for the Cougars. She drives inside, spins the foul line now to Fox. Ball's tipped away by Rocco. Seems like St. Vincent has got a hand on every pass or every shot here tonight. They're just quicker on defense.
Yeah, it's just they're playing so in-your-face man-to-man defense. It's not like it's an extremely physical type of defense, but it's almost like if you want to come in the paint, you better come prepared because we're going to make you earn everything that you get.
And it will be interesting to see once we get to halftime stats, points off turnovers as Kelly Sedlock pulls up for a 3. Her shot doesn't go. Rocco grabs the rebound, though, spins underneath. Didn't realize where she was, though, as her shot hit up underneath the hoop. Has to go in the other way for it to count. Fox now from the foul line. Schmidt guards her, now up top to Speeney. Her 3 off the mark. Gets her own rebound, though, down in the left corner. Working on Allie Schmidt, tries to feed inside for Sargent. Ball's tipped around, though, held ball underneath. Possession arrow favors Chatham. Emily Schmidt checks back in.
Looking at the stats here, Ariel Rocco has 54 rebounds on the year. I would be more than willing to say about 75% of those rebounds have come in the past 4 games. And as ridiculous as that sounds, it's extremely true because if you go back and look at the stats, she's probably averaging close to about 7 or 8 rebounds a game, just grabbing boards left and right, just becoming a presence down low. And it's helping the Bearcats out a lot because, quite frankly, because their guard play has always been so well, their rebounding has at times been a little shaky, but for her to come in and have 54 rebounds as a second or third player off the bench is just awesome for the Bearcats to have.
As a nice job on McGrath right there, anticipating the inside pass. Steals it away. Actually, Ariel the other night against Westminster had 8 rebounds in the first half alone. As Fenton's shot doesn't go, but a nice job hustling. Feeds underneath for Kelly Sedlock. Pestered by Sargent. Rocco comes away with a loose ball. I believe they're going to say she traveled. 3 seconds. 3-second violation against St. Vincent. They lead 26-7. 5:43 remains.
St. Vincent taking a little bit of the pressure off, picking up the offensive Chatham at half court now as Schmidt and Sedlock were just waiting for the ball to be brought up to drop into their man-to-man.
Number 23, Becky Rowe, her 3-pointer falls for Chatham. Their first one of the night. 26-10 now the St. Vincent lead.
That ends a 10-0 run that the Bearcats had going for about 6 minutes.
Fenton drives, kicks back out to Rocco. She drives back to Fenton, up top to McGrath. McGrath on the right wing, guarded closely by Rowe. Schmidt controls now, picks up a screen from McGrath, drives left side. Stops left foul line extended, tries to feed inside for Devin. Ball tipped away by Chatham, so St. Vincent will retain possession with 4 on the shot clock. Zelenik returns for Chatham. King will take a seat, and Brittany Sedlock checks in for her cousin Ariel Rocco.
It's nice to see Jordan Clinton back on the bench for the Bearcats after having a little bit of an injury-plagued season. Obviously had to have surgery on her shoulder, so we wish her the best.
And Devin with a desperation, I believe they call that a 2. Her foot was just inside the line, but banks it off the backboard. Everything's falling tonight for the Bearcats.
If you're Coach Petrushka, you gotta love nights like this.
Zelenak tries working on Sedlock, feeds back out for Rowe. Inside for Schmidt, ball tipped away by Fenton. Schmidt finds number 44, Sargent, cutting. A nice pass from Schmidt to Sargent. 28-12, but St. Vincent runs the transition. Decides to slow it up. Schmidt with it, Allie Schmidt with it now, drives all the way in. Can't get the shot to fall, but Devin McGrath comes in for the rebound, wrestles it away from Rowe. Fenton will hold now for the Bearcats. Kendra Birchfield waits to check in for the first time tonight for St. Vincent. Devin in the left corner for Emily. Emily working on Speeney. Emily with a little runner with the right hand. Shot doesn't go. Brittany grabs the rebound, though. Great job by St. Vincent on the offensive glass. Fresh shot clock now for the Bearcats. Kelly Sedlock holds.
Mike, as you said, Birchfield was getting ready to check in. That means that the Bearcats have used everybody but one player so far, and that would be Lexi Lee. But the way she's been shooting the ball as of late, really starting to get a little hot from three-point range. I'm sure we'll see her in no time.
Brittany Sedlock fouled on her last shot attempt. She goes to the line. She'll be shooting a pair. 4 team fouls for Chatham, 3 for St. Vincent. Pretty clean first half for as many steals and turnovers as we've seen. A lot of times you'll see a team commit more fouls. You know, somebody steals the ball away, they'll hack the arm going for the reach. But pretty clean defense we've seen by both teams. 29-12.
Have to commend Chatham for being disciplined too. Usually when teams jump out to 18, 19, 20-point leads in the early going of a game, frustration starts to play, and the worst fouls that I think when I watch a frustration foul, it's just because they can be prevented so easily. So great discipline on Chatham's part.
St. Vincent now leads 30-12. Sedlock with 4 points. Zelenak holds over to Lewis. Lewis feeds down along the baseline for Speeney, 13 on the shot clock. Back up top to Zelenak. Her long 2 doesn't fall. She gets her own rebound though off a tipped ball. Drives inside, gets the shot to fall, and 1. They're going to call Birchfield for the foul. She checked in, as did Savannah Hardy during that last free throw trip. Zelenak completes the old-fashioned three-point play, now 30-15. Fenton with it, drives right side, kicks for Kelly Sedlock, back up top to Brittany, inside for Hardy. Hardy spins in the lane, tries going around Emily Schmidt. Gets her own rebound off the missed shot, though, in the corner for Fenton. Fenton for 3, nails it. Emily Fenton. 9 points now. Only 10 away. I hope she gets it tonight. Absolutely,
and the way she's shooting the ball, pretty much lights out right now. Really just missed. Only shot she's missed is that little runner that just couldn't go. And I think she knows, even though players won't admit that they know and don't think about personal goals. I think she knows, and it's lighting a fire under her for a little bit.
Fenton goes behind the back up top to Birchfield. Birchfield notorious for scoring right off the bench as Brittany Sedlock nails the long 2. 35-15 now. Sedlock with 6, Fenton with 9. Zelenak hands off to King. Ball tipped away as she drives the lane. Birchfield grabs the loose ball. Outlets ahead to Fenton. Emily drives the lane. Little runner up off the glass. Fenton now with 11. And Gio, you said, players won't admit that it's on the back of their mind as the long 3 from Chatham's off the mark. Kelly Sedlock runs it down. We'll keep talking about this as Coach Petrushka wants a 30-second timeout for St. Vincent. I'm sure players, when they look back on it, it'd be great to see that they have 1,000 points, but as things really starting to heat up, I'm sure it's almost, you don't want to say it's like a monkey she wants off her back, but it's something that it's going to keep, hanging over. She might press a little bit at times. Not to say that she has, but she doesn't get it. Maybe she has a bad shooting night. It kind of hangs around, but well on her way tonight. It's kind of something you want to. It's great to have, but once it's over with, all right, now we can really focus on this home stretch.
Yeah, it's a pressure off your back, like you said it perfectly. Although I can actually say I'm pretty positive that the 1,000 points is not the number one goal Emily Fenton had coming into the season, especially after the way the season ended last year. But when she gets it off, she's just going to have a huge relief. She's going to have a big smile on her face, and that's just going to be in her rear view and full speed ahead for a PAC championship.
Like you said, that's not her number one priority. Emily, a great leader and always the team player. So I'll just be icing on the cake for her for a very, very nice career here at St. Vincent. For the local girl from Latrobe, just a couple minutes away. The shot from Hardy doesn't go. Zelenik grabs the rebound. 1.5 left here. St. Vincent leads 37-15. King shot a little strong. Hardy grabs the board. Nice job maintaining her balance. Now every St. Vincent player has been in the game as Lee checks in for the Bearcats.
Lee, a nice guard from, I believe, Mars, Pennsylvania?
Yes.
Yes.
Savannah Hardy now on the score sheet. St. Vincent doing a great job of just distributing the ball, spreading the wealth tonight. Very, very unselfish basketball, but I mean, that's something St. Vincent's all about. It's about the team first mentality, and that's been a huge key to their success here. Obviously, a 14-3 season, only a 5-loss season last year. It's a winning tradition keeps on building here. Nice shot by number 15, Julianne Spini. I believe that's her second three of the night. Nope, my first one was a 2. I'm sorry, it was a long 2 she had the first time. She has 5 on the night now. I think she leads Chatham. About a 6-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Game clock at 22.8 seconds as Hardy is fouled. Up top, it's only the 15th foul on Chatham.
It'll be interesting to see the assist-to-turnover ratio because it's never been astronomically good for the Bearcats. They have struggled at times turning the ball over, but tonight, not too many turnovers, and as you said, with the unselfish play, a crazy amount of assists so far, as Elle Collins just makes a beautiful crossover and brings the Chatham defender to her knees.
We're going to have a hell of ball possession, stays with St. Vincent. Shot clock is off. 12 seconds remains on the game clock. 39-18, St. Vincent leads. Number 40, Emily Schmidt, will check back in for the Cougars. Birchfield looks to inbound. Does so for Lee. She's pestered in the corner by number 23, Rowe. Collins holds now. Barks out the orders, only 4 seconds left. Shot's coming off a screen from Sedlock. Elle with the long 3. Shot doesn't go. I thought she would have beat the buzzer. Doesn't get the hometown roll though. Nonetheless, St. Vincent, another very, very impressive first half here in PAC play. After 20 minutes, the Bearcats on top of the Cougars. 39-18. We'll be back in a little while with a first half stats recap and your